Hello, friends, and welcome back to the WELLthy Moves Podcast. I am your host, Do Yoga with Bree. So this is the first podcast of the new season that I have done a video recording. The first few podcasts just about are all video recordings because I am actually a lot more comfortable being in front of the camera than I am recording the podcast as like audio only. In fact, it does take me a longer period of time to record the audio only versions. I think it's because I go off tangent, because I'm just sitting in my room, usually underneath a fur blanket, though I am still underneath the fur blanket, and I get distracted and then I go off on tangents and it's a whole thing. But it is our first session with a video recording for season 2, and I'm very excited. And for our friends who are watching this on Spotify, hello. To our friends that are listening to this on Apple, I think I'm going to post at least a few clips or maybe this full episode on my YouTube, and I'll make sure to link that in the description box so that you have the opportunity to watch, or you can download Spotify and get some of that video content, whatever floats your boat. So you know how I love to do things on the podcast, short, sweet, and to the point. Let's talk about what is Meta Verified. So this podcast actually was supposed to be all Q&A from previous podcasts that I've been getting. But when I posted last week's episode, so many of you reached out with questions about being Meta Verified, which I did after encouragement by each of you because you wanted me to be the test dummy for it. So we're going to get into some of your questions on Meta Verified.
You are listening to the WELLthy Moves Podcast with your host, Do Yoga with Bree.
So I have my handy dandy laptop here. It's just going to be over here to the side because I've jotted down all the questions that I've gotten. And I've gotten, is that the proper way to say that? I've received, whatever it might be. And I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. There were also just a few questions that you added on with the Meta Verified that I will answer for those people that had like a couple follow-up questions that kind of went with the Meta Verified, but like wanted me to throw this in for this episode. So continue to listen to hear if your question is in there. So the first question I got is, what is Meta Verified? Like, what is this whole thing about? I've seen some new people with blue check marks. You have a blue check mark. I love that I got my blue check mark and literally like so many of my yoga students were like, girl, you're verified. You got a blue check mark. And they didn't realize that like you could buy a blue check mark now. But I just love that everyone was so supportive of me for that. Thank y'all for that. But just so everyone is clear, I did pay for my blue check mark because you asked me to be the test dummy. If you've been in my Instagram stories, you saw I did a poll and all of you voted for me to be a test dummy. It was like 80-20. So Meta Verified is Instagram's new verification process that gives you the blue check mark. And this goes in kind of to the second question is who is eligible for Meta Verified? So it's available in Australia, New Zealand, and now in the US. So our Canadian friends, unfortunately, you do not have Meta Verification yet. I know I have quite a few Canadians on my Instagram and many of you were asking about that. What are the benefits of Meta Verified? The benefits of Meta Verified I actually put in my Instagram post, and I will link that in the description box because you know I love having something that coordinates with the pod on the gram. You see how I did that? And I'm going to just read the Instagram post. And normally I would not do that, but I mean, the Instagram post was really, really informative and so many of you liked it and it got lots of likes and shares that I think it's important for me to review that information because I know some of you are not Instagram people. Some of you listen to this podcast but do not do Instagram, and I'm here for it. Again, I support you in whatever you want to do. So Meta Verified is a $14.99 subscription bundle now offered on Instagram as well as Facebook. And I'm talking about this specific to Instagram because that's my happy place. Your account's going to receive a blue check mark, just like a celebrity account would or a content creator or blogger account would. So you're going to have that verifying blue check mark. And it just confirms that it's really you. So many of us have experience those fake accounts on Instagram pretending to be us, especially a lot of my tarot friends. I see it for a lot of my tarot friends. Some of my coaching friends, I've seen it as well. I've experienced it. I experienced it last year. It's only happened to me once. I was like, dang, I'm official. I've reached somebody wants to pretend to be me status. And it was so like overly not me that it was easy for people to determine it wasn't me. But for some people, I've had one of my mentors in yoga, his account got like a fake account built off of it. And people literally Venmo'd money because they thought that he was going to, start teaching these classes. The person who tried to do me tried to do like astrology stuff, which we all know. I might know my rising and my sun sign, all that good stuff, but I'm not an astrologist. So we all know that was fake. So this is going to help prevent that because it's going to confirm like this is really this person. What's up, friends? You are listening to the WELLthy Moves podcast, and I'm your host, Yoga with Bree. I am stopping in to do a little advertisement here for my new wellness adventure called Flow by Bree. Flow by Bree is a virtual yoga studio offering yoga, meditation, and wellness to help you find love of wellness, hence the name Flow. You can visit Flow by Bree on Instagram. Click that link in bio and it will give you 1 month free of yoga for my virtual platform. I am very excited about this adventure. Many of you know I've run a virtual studio since the pandemic, and this is just a relaunch, a rebrand, and inviting more people to join our community. So definitely check it out. And before you get your blue check mark, Instagram really does a good job at verifying that it's you. So originally, the information that I got from Instagram said, and slash Facebook, said that you're gonna have to like record a selfie of yourself to prove that it was you, and then of course have a government official ID. So maybe that's your passport or your license or your identification card, whatever it might be. It didn't ask me for that when I applied. It actually just asked me, well, it did ask me for part of that. It didn't ask me for the selfie video, but it did ask me for my government ID, which I used my license. And I'm thinking maybe if you have a lot of video content on your page, maybe that's why they didn't ask me, because they can verify that it was me. But I do want to call that out for me personally. I didn't have to send in a selfie video. And then again, just to prep for, I'm leaving this in because it's one of those days. Again, it just protects your account from those fake accounts out there. And by protecting your account from those fake accounts, it's giving you a secure 2-factor authentication. Did I say that right? I don't know why I'm having trouble saying that word. I have my matcha right here, y'all, because I just got back from the desert. If you know, I live half in the desert, half here in Redondo. And I'm really sleepy. So I can't even believe I'm recording this. I'm so proud of myself. Anyway, short, sweet, and to the point. Let's stay on task. You should have 2-factor put on everything you do, regardless if you do Meta Verified. Like you should have that on your email. Definitely check out Flexible Soul Yoga, or if you go to my Instagram, check out Karina. Type in Karina, and I think it's going to pull her up. I'll make sure to link her down below. But she is someone who did cybersecurity as well as a wellpreneur. And she talks about some of the things you need to do to make sure your account stays safe. So you should have something like that on your account, regardless if you do Meta Verified. And I remember when I was going Meta Verified, one of the benefits it said was that you can get exclusive stickers and features on your Instagram stories and reels. But to be completely honest, I have not seen that. I also haven't looked. I know the kind of content that my audience likes, and I don't really stray too much away from that. You guys like videos of me. You like just a standalone picture with my agenda. There's certain things that y'all like. Every once in a while, like I'll try to repost something. It'll end up in my stories. It'll get like 10 views. And then I'll put like a picture of me, like a selfie mirror picture, and it'll get like 300. So I know what people like. I'm not even trying to stray away from that. But I also haven't really looked for those features. So I will do my due diligence to take a look at that and report back for those of you who've asked about that. And then you get direct account support, which I haven't had to use either because I haven't had any issues with my account. So I can talk to a real person for help. So again, I'm going to link that post in the description box. So you can have that information just in hand. If you're an Instagram person, you can have that information, you can save it and go back to it. That answers a lot of y'all's general questions about Meta Verified that I had. I have them listed here, and then I was looking at it and I was like, oh my gosh, I made that post and some of this is talked about. So that gives you what is Meta Verified, who's eligible for it, what are the benefits. The application process, I'll go into a little more in depth on that. I got my application approved the same day. I've heard people say that it can take up to 48 hours for them to approve you, or maybe even a little longer. If it's like maybe a day you put in at like 6 o'clock in the evening, it may take a few more days because, they may have closed the customer service part that's doing Meta Verified during that time. There's also the cost. So many of you wanted to know, is that $14.99 a one-time fee? And girl, no. It's a monthly fee. It is a monthly fee of $14.99 to keep your blue check mark there. I will also say who's eligible. Like I told you the states that were eligible, but I do want to mention that businesses, so if you have a business Instagram account, you are not eligible. Now, I'm not a fan of the business Instagram accounts when you are running a virtual yoga studio or your personal yoga brand, primarily because I feel like the content creator account gives you the same benefits and then has some better features and music-wise, that kind of thing, versus the business account. I feel like the business account really holds you accountable as if you're like a business, like your target kind of thing, Target as in the business, not like your target audience, target as in the business or like your Goop or some like bigger entity. And I think a creator account is actually the best for many of you as a wellpreneur.
You are listening to the WELLthy Moves podcast with your host, Do Yoga with Bree.
And going along with that eligibility is that when you apply for the Meta Verified, your name and your Instagram needs to be your actual, not like your Instagram name, but your name where it says name, the name field of your Instagram. It needs to be your government given name. You don't have to put your full name, but you do need to put like Sabrina Zealous. I can just put Bree. I had to put Sabrina Zealous. And when you look at my Instagram, my government name on there has always been Sabrina Zealous because some of you search for me like that. And then it has, of course, my title, Yoga and Wellness Educator. I always highly recommend putting your brand title or your niche in your Instagram name so that if someone just types in that niche, you can pull up. So highly recommend that. But it's vital for you, if you want to get approved, to have your government name in there. So whatever name is on that government ID that you're using, that's going to be your name on Instagram. I have a friend who reached out. She commented on the post, and I'm pretty sure I pinned her comment. She works in a higher profile job, and she did not want her name like listed on there because she doesn't want her work people to find her. But for her to get Instagram verified, she had to put her full name in there. So for those of you that want to stay a little more incognito, this may not be the best option for you. You also cannot tweak your picture or change your name, your bio picture and name after you get Meta Verified. You would have to cancel your subscription, then go through the process again to change those things. And that's kind of annoying. I'm the kind of girl that loves options. So I changed, like they say when you're getting Meta Verified that you need to have a front facial picture, like it needs to be more of your head in the space. And originally my picture was me like selfie mirror picture because people love the selfie mirror of me like at a yoga studio, getting ready to teach a class. I'm in my matching outfit, my monochromatic outfit, which I'm still in today. Not even a yoga outfit. I'm still monochromatic. I'm in my monochromatic outfit and I love that picture because it has like my colors, it's got like the corals and it's, just my vibe. And then I changed it to more of a facial picture, like a face front picture, like right here with this background because I have a big window here. So it's like the best for selfies. And I was like, I kind of want to change that picture because I have this really cute picture that's a face frontal picture, but like not with just like my room in the background. So as I would normally do on Instagram, first of all, I find the picture, I make sure to resize it, that's going to be cute in the little circle. And it's like, you cannot change this picture unless you cancel your Meta Verified subscription and then reapply. And I was like, over the picture? Like, you've already verified me. So I feel as if there's some learning things that Instagram has to do with this Meta Verified. One, you should still be able to change your picture. Maybe that is a way, like a little safe clause for them to keep someone from getting verified and then changing it to like a celebrity's picture and then like, creating fraud that way or something. But there needs to be some type of help when it comes to that. That's not like you having to cancel your account and then bring it back in. Two, I understand the government name thing. That I do understand because it needs to match your ID. Like, I'll give y'all that one. However, I feel like you shouldn't have to pay monthly. I feel like there should be a yearly fee, like $14.99 a month if you're going to do the monthly option, and then you get like a little kicker if you do yearly. So it'll be like $11.99 for the, per month for the year if you pay up front. I think that would make more sense. However, I understand now that I'm thinking about the picture, like I'm having this epiphany as I'm recording this, that, if you wanted to change your picture or any information in your bio and you weren't paying monthly, that would make it more difficult to change. So now I kind of understand that, but I always like to have a yearly option to save money. That's just like my thing. Give people options. I love options. That's my vibe. If you are a wellpreneur, should you go Meta Verified? That's the big question that everyone wants the answers to. What's up, friends? You are listening to the WELLthy Moves podcast, and I'm your host, Diego with Bree. I am stopping in to do a little advertisement here for my new wellness adventure called Flow by Bree. Flow by Bree is a virtual yoga studio offering yoga, meditation, and wellness to help you find love of wellness, hence the name Flow. You can visit Flow by Bree on Instagram, click that link in bio, and it will give you 1 month free of yoga for my virtual platform. I am very excited about this adventure. Many of you know I've run a virtual studio since the pandemic, and this is just a relaunch, a rebrand, and inviting more people to join our community. So definitely check it out. I am big on not telling you what is wrong or what is right, but I like to give you different feedback to help you make the right decision for yourself. I feel as if you do not have over, I would say, 1,000 Instagram followers, you should be working more on building your Instagram tribe before getting Meta Verified. That's just my personal opinion on that. I think that you should be dedicating that time towards your content and engagement to build a following versus paying for Meta Verified. So, we're not doing this for clout. We're doing this for business. If you're a wellpreneur with over 1,000 followers and you've had issues with those fake accounts, I know a lot of the people that I work with that do tarot, some of the business coaching people that I know, they've had quite a few fake accounts. Highly, highly recommend it for you. And if you do decide to just do it for clout, like you really want that blue check mark, or you've been working really hard to get verified and you haven't had the opportunity to get verified, then I understand. Like, you do you. That's always my thing, is that you do what's best for you. You know what's best for you. You know innately what's best for you. You do you. I do feel as if you are not using your account directly towards a business opportunity, or if you're not over a certain amount of followers, and I usually don't put emphasis on follower count. You know me. You know how I feel about the follower count because so many people can buy fake followers. But I think that $14.99 each month could be put aside for you to work with a social media coach, or come to a content creation party that I'm probably going to host pretty soon, or something of that to like invest in yourself versus you using it just for the blue check mark. That's my personal opinion. And lastly, I was asked if I'm going to keep my Meta Verified. I think I am. I've actually really enjoyed it. I like the fact that when people see my name, they know who they're doing business with. I like that now that I do have Flow by Bree, which is my own entity, that when you click, like it says yoga and wellness videos taught by Do Yoga with Bree, when you click Yoga with Bree, they have the blue check mark. They know I'm official. They know it's not someone being scammy. I do like that. And because I've had the fake account thing before, I enjoy the comfort in knowing that that's not going to happen to me. So it's up to you on which one's going to work best. Those are my feedback. That's my experiences. And I hope that was super helpful to you. So thank you all so much for listening to the podcast and or watching the video version. If you have the opportunity to watch the video version, it feels like as if I'm talking to my friend. Like if you watch the video version on your Spotify, it comes up like as if you're FaceTiming a friend. So it's like a friend having a conversation, and I love that. It's also holds me accountable when I have the video in front of me. It's easier for me to record for some reason. So thank you all so much for watching. And again, definitely check out Flow by Bree. Add me on your Instagram. It is linked in the description box. This is going to give you 1 month free of yoga on my official launch date, which is May 1st. I'm very excited for y'all to try my virtual studio out. I'm like combining all those words together. My virtual studio out. And I welcome all your feedback because it's built for YOU. Have a wonderful day, everybody.